What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another review video. And tonight we're going to be talking about NXT on July 16th, 2024. And yeah, it's only a couple weeks away for their Great American Bash special, which we're going to start off on July 30th till August 6th. And yeah, but we're going to talk about it in just a moment. And we had a very intriguing NXT tonight. And then it felt like if it was some kind of an NXT special on tonight, like maybe it's because he has a couple of championship matches. One was last minute, other one was scheduled last week because it was Oba Femi and Duke Hudson battling in the main event for the North American Championship, which we're going to do later. But we got the show starting off with Wesley introducing him and his best friends Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, which is the Rascals. This is where he was like, yeah, you're going to be seeing the best trios in the world. This is where Trey Miguel did say, like, yeah, the band's back together again. This is where then Wesley like, that's right, let's get them, boy. And then this is where then Zachary Wentz was like, yeah, let's get these Gallows boys right now. And then this is where then we got Mark Coffey did say like yeah, they think they're all that and they think they're all smart, and it's going to be the shortest trios faction that the shortest run in this trios faction in NXT history, because we're gonna beat them in their first and their last match here in NXT as a trio, and these three are going to be done. And this is where then Joe Coffey's like, yeah, but we're not going to be the ones that's going to be whining about you beat us. Like, no more, like we're going to be on the way around. And we're gonna beat you so bad that we're gonna send you back to your company with a broken everything, like broken ribs, broken spine, broken arms and legs, and etc. But this is where we got the match started, which I never thought we'd see the former Nash Carter be back in the NXT ring until they collaborated with TNA. And this time, like, it's not just Zachary Wentz, it's also Trey Miguel, and it's the full Rascals team. Like, something that we thought we'll never see being a thing in NXT, being a thing on WWE in general, let alone in NXT. But it's where we got it started off with Zachary Wentz, and I believe, or no, it was Trey Miguel and Mark Coffey, with Mark Coffey trying to send Trey Miguel running to the left side onto the apron, but it's where he jumps right over the ropes. It's where he then grab onto the arm. He grab on the Mark Coffey's arm, hot shot it right on the ground. This is where then he got back in the ring, had some kind of a face plant. This is where he goes for a wrist lock, and he kicks him right in the midst, in the arm, hit the sliding Hurricane Rana. This is where we got Booker T did not like with Vic Joseph mentioning this person that we've been seeing from the last week, which is the man that's from TNA, that's the Scottish wrestler, and that man is the man that believes in himself along with his fans, and that is Joe Hendry. And then this is where he was like, please don't say his name, I just don't like the guy. I don't know why that he does not like the man. Like, he has some kind of vendetta against him, much more than a wrestler that I might know. But that's another story for another day. But this is where we got what's his name? Zachary Winston going for a gut buster when he got tagged in by Trey Miguel. This is where Trey Miguel then I went to the left side. This is where we got Zachary Wentz putting him on the ground by putting like a head maneuver with his back on his back, while Trey Miguel hits a Shining Wizard kick. That's where we got Zachary Winston trying to go for a pin, but he only got a 2 even count. Is where he then gets outnumbered once Mark Coffey got back on his feet and intercept. This is where he tags in Wolfgang. This is where he was going on a beating spree. Not sure if that's even a thing, but this is where he hits a suplex. This is where then he tried to go for a pinfall. This is where we got and where the Wolfgang then gets tagged in by Mark Coffey. Mark Coffey hits him with an underhook punch to the midsection. This is where fans start chanting Rascals all around the arena. This is where we got This is where then we got I believe what's it? Zachary Wentz was fighting right back. This is where he sent him right to the upper left side. That's where he knee striked him. This is where he tags in his former NXT Tag Team Championship partner. That's where Wes Lee didn't go for a springboard swanton, putting his knees dipping right on the top rope. This is where then we got Wes Lee then grab onto Joe Coffey, like about to go for a running bulldog, but it's where he gets thrown on the right side. It's where he flips right over the Gallus leader, but he flips right back up, hits a flying head scissor right onto the Gallus leader. This is where then he spins him around like about 20 times in a row until he kips right back up. This is where Wesley then asks him to get back up. This is where he goes for a sliding Hurricane Rana. This is where we got what's his name? Joe Coffey kick out at 2.4. It's where we got Wesley's like, okay, that did not work, like at least what I would expected. But this is where then he goes for a headlock onto Mark Coffey, no, not Mark, Joe Coffey. It was Joe Coffey that he's going for a headlock, but this is where we try to go for a back suplex, the center right to the side, not caring if he tags in either of his partners or not. But this is where we got him trying to go for a tag, but this is where we get what's his name? This is where then we got what's his name? Wesley going for a headlock onto what's his name? Mark Coffey, not Mark, Joe Coffey. This is where he dips around the right side. He tags in Wolfgang. He sent him to the left side. He tried to go for clothesline. Wesley ducks, but what he did not expect was Wolfgang right behind him. He hit him with a clobbering clothesline. This is where then he shoves him right to the right side, hits him with a brutal manhandling body slam. This is where he tried to go for pinfall, but Wesley somehow with all his strength kick out of 1.1 at the right after the referee counted the first pin count. But this is where the fans are like, let's go Rascals. And this is where fans started saying, let's go Rascals, because the Rascals, it's been like about exactly 4 years since the last time they teamed as a trio. This is where we got Wolfgang then brought Wesley right into the in their corner in the bottom right side turnbuckle where they were playing wrestling tennis at. But this is where he tags in Mark Coffey, hits some punches right into the gut. This is where he grabbed onto the former North American champ into a wrist lock, and he tagged. I believe he tagged in his brother. I don't think he tagged him in. It was Joe Coffey voluntarily came in the ring and tried to help him out. They go for a wrist lock, bounce him right down to the ground. This is where then we got him grabbing on this is where he tags in Wolfgang. This is where he hits a right hand right into the midsection. This is where then we grab on. That's where he grab onto the back of the neck of Wesley. This is where he goes for a full Nelson. This is where he tags in. That's where we got Mark Coffey then try to go for like some punches onto him, but this is where he gets kicked right into the face. But this is where we got Wolfgang then hit a full Nelson slam right into the top corner side. This is where Trey Miguel he came in, get back down, keep up. This is where he tried to go for a step up into gear. This is where we got Zachary Winston try to come in and help out. This is where he dodged off the clothesline from Joe Coffey. This is where he goes for a springboard step up into Giri. And then this is where, I forgot to tell you guys, Joe Hendry came out of the blue. This is where we got Vic Joseph was very surprised. He was like, what? That's Joe Hendry, what is he doing out here? It's one thing about last week, but this week, making a second ever unexpected appearance in a second straight week in a row was actually the third time he made a shocking unadvertised appearance. But you get what I'm saying. But for it to be the second week in a row that he did it, and that makes sense. That I say it that way, but you get what I'm saying. But he joined Vic Joseph and Booker T writing the commentary. This is where this is where then hey Book, and then this is where then Booker T, and then this is where then hilariously Joe Hendry was like, what kind of problem you have have on me, like to not be a fan of me. Like you don't have to, but it seemed like that you're more of a hater rather than anything else. Like, and then this is where the Booker T was like, no, no, it's not that I hate you. It's just that I don't think that you're it's very unusual that fans that what's that like or all of a sudden big all of a sudden or what's that are so enthusiastic of your presence like if you've been a megastar in a wrestling company for about 2 or 3 decades. But anyways, this is where we got a knee strike by Zachary Wentz. This is where then he tried to run up to Markov, but he gets back elbowed right to the face. This is where Wesley then threw him right to the bottom corner of ropes. This is where he hit the double foot stomp. This is where it, and then this is where then we got what else that happened during a match with all the tree the both from the two trios factions got back up. I believe it was Wesley and Joe Coffey because those were the last guys that were face to face with one another. But it's where we got Joe Coffey kind of won the battle. This is where then between him and Wesley at this round is where then he brought him over to his brothers, which they started double teaming. And that's where then he tagged in, hit the one is a pretend brother Wolfgang in. Is where he didn't hit some very I'll say some very heavily brutal moves onto the former North American champion. That's where he tagged in Joe Coffey right back in the ring. This is where he did hit. I'm not sure exactly what maneuver it was. I'm assuming that it's some kind of a fall away power slam like maneuver. I don't know in particular, but this is where we got but this is where then we got what's his name? You got Joe Coffey tags in his real brother, Mark Coffey. This is where this is where he tags in his pretend brother, Wolfgang. This is where he tried to go for a splash onto Wesley, but Wesley flipped him right over into the right corner side onto the apron. This is where he bounced right off. This is where we got Wolfgang and going for a splash onto him, but this is where he already moved out of the way and left the house. No one home, but this is where we got Joe Coffey try to grab him underneath, but this is where he was too late because he ran too fast right between his legs. He tags in Zachary Wentz. He then started hitting collectible super kicks right onto Wolfgang and Joe Coffey. This is where he sent Joe Coffey right into the bottom left side. This is where then he tried to go for a splash right onto Joe Coffey. He did not know which one in particular, which I believe that was his downfall at the moment because he got flipped right over to the left side. But he ended up getting back up on his feet and took his HP meter or no, it was his MP meter. I'm afraid that was the MP meter. This is where he hits a step up in security. This is where then he go up right up on the top rope. This is where then he goes for a double drop kick, like if he's the next Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan in WWE in particular. This is where then he hits a knife edge chop right onto what's his name? What's his name? Joe Coffey. This is where he tried Irish whip Joe Coffey right to the left side, but this is where Joe Coffey counted through him instead. This is where he tried to go for a leapfrog, but he ends up eating a flapjack in interception by Zachary Wentz. This is where then he followed that up with a German suplex. This is where then Zachary Wentz then threw him right to the bottom right side, but this is where his brother Mark Coffey came in. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where he dodged out of the way. He made him go right up to the upper left side, no one home. He gets hit with a European uppercut. He tags in Wesley. Oh, no, it wasn't Wesley. It was Zachary Wentz. Not Zachary. I mean, Trey Miguel. This is where Trey Miguel hit the drop kick on the Joe Coffey. And then this is where we got Zachary Wentz then going for a drop kick onto Joe Coffey as well, like with him getting thrown by his tag partner Trey. This is where he gets hit with a drop kick onto Mark Coffey. After that, this is where he knees him right in the midsection. That's where then he knees him right in the back and then hit him with the spinning back maneuver, looking like a rampage maneuver. But this is where when Trey Miguel tried to go for a cover, it looked like he was about to get 3, but he would have got away with it if it wasn't for that meddling that Gallus boy, because it was Wolfgang and did a steam rolling shoulder block right onto him, maybe shoulder tackle actually. like right onto Miguel, but this when he picks up him, this is where Trey then hit a drop kick onto Wolfgang on the outside towards the right corner side. This is where we got Wesley then go like for underarm hooking hip flip like right onto Trey Miguel, but then flipping right over their arms, like attaching them together. And then this is where we got, and then both Zachary Wentz and Wesley then picks up a Trey Miguel. He goes up, and then and once he was up, they got back up. They got right with him and hit a triple missile drop kick onto Joe Coffey, which they send him right to the left side of the ringside area. This is where then we got Wolfgang and Joe Coffey and try to go for their respective clotheslines onto the former NXT Tag Team Champions, but they dodged out of the way. This is where we got Trey Miguel ducking first, though, and hit a suicide tornado DDT onto Mark Coffey right into the left side. This is where we got Wesley to hit a drop kick onto the back of the knee of Joe Coffey, while we got some kicking and knee strikes from Zachary Wentz right in the right side and the super kick. And Wesley hit a double foot stomp onto Joe Coffey right in his back, while Zachary Wentz didn't go for a double stomp right onto Wolfgang. And then this is where we got both the former MSK members then hit their respective dives onto the Gallows Boys. Well, first we got Zachary Wentz then go for a swift kick right onto, I believe, was Mark Coffey. This is where then he go for a diving moonsault right off the apron with a little help of Wesley, pushes him right onto the rest of the Gallows Boys, while we got the former North American champion then going for a corkscrew dive right onto everybody onto the left side, except I'll say maybe everybody except I'll say everybody, well, except for his boys, of course, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. It was all three members of the Gallows Boys, like both Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, and Wolfgang. This is where fans, that's what, and then that's where the fans are like, and this is where fans start chanting NXT or I think something like that, which that's a custom shirt that Jordan Grace made because of the collaboration between NXT and TNA. NXT, that's what they call it. This is where we got both Trey Miguel and Zachary Winston put, I believe, Joe Coffey's head. No, it was Mark Coffey that was in the ring. That was the legal man. They put him right to their corner in the upper left side. Is where they took his head right on the turnbuckles, double super kicked it. Is where they lift him up right on their back of their shoulders, like if they're about to hit a rack. A racking machine maneuver, or what's that called? But it's where, they got him up like in a reverse fireman's carry. This is where we got Wesley hitting the double knees, and then this is where he goes for the pin, and they got the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, the Rascals. And I want to give all three members a huge congratulations, and this automatically gets the second place spot of best match of the night. And what was your thoughts on NXT? This open up on NXT. Do you expect it to be the opener, or do you think it was done in the mid card? I'll say for me, advertising it myself, I figured it would most likely would be the at least the opener, because I knew there was going to have some more special and more different, and something that's totally different and special on the main event card. But let me know down in the comments below. It was about time that they had this 6-man tag match. Like it's a little past overdue, but at least I guess it's better late than never. But yeah, and I think they did a very tremendous job onto this 6-man tag fight. Everybody involved. And some just tells me this is going to be the team that's going to face the the no quarter catch crew in this Thursday at TNA, which I believe I'll be hearing in the IWC, like in the wrestling news sites. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about with a little vignette with Joe Hendry, like having a little. I have a little vignette for everybody on the NXT roster, most likely, possibly, especially All Ego Ethan Page, with him, like as saying like he celebrated his new NXT champion, and then this is just what's that word? Or what's that term? I'll say that what's Ethan Page called? think a bounce back kind of thing, like because he was the first. He was the number one contender match, and that's his first match against Trick Williams. First championship came up short, just to win like a couple months later. And this time he becomes the NXT champ. He wins, and then he became the NXT champion. But Trick Williams won the rematch, and then we got Javon Evans and Sean Spears getting involved, and it turned into a tag team match. But Javon Evans got attacked by Brooks, and then this is where they said like they did not know who was gonna be a teammate until they went up to me, and then they asked me that I want to do this, which I did, and then and then there's millions and millions that believed in Joe Hendry, and then I believe the WWE is thinking the same thing, and that is I believe in Joe Hendry or something like that. And then I was like, if this is not a teaser that he's going to possibly get a future NXT title opportunity, I don't know what else to tell you, because they honorably put him on the roster page. It's not like exactly like a full roster, but like with his name being right over to the J letter wrestlers like a John Cena, Johnny Gargano, Jimmy J Uso, or any of those wrestlers that have the first name starts with the letter J. But it's just right at the bottom, like it's the honorary guy that's going to be making a regular visit and appearance on the TNA roster. Considering like guys like him are under a TNA contract until like if it's expired, and then we could see him be signed in WWE. And this is where we got Kelly Kincaid and asked Thea Hale possibly be the next NXT Women's Champion. This is where then Thea Hill's like now that you mention it, I want to go out there and give her a piece of my mind right now because she's just and then this where then she was like, and he's like, and did you say she's here? And this where then Kelly Kincaid's like, yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's correct. This is where I believe she shouldn't have exactly told her that. This is where we got Thea Hill was like, all right, like if that's the case, like I want to, I'm out of here. I'm about to head up to the ring. This is where she ran out of there along with Ridge Holland. This is where, and it is where. And then that's where then Andre Chase like, yeah, just please get me on and not let her make some regrettable mistakes that she might make some regrettable mistakes that she's going to regret in the end of the day. But this is where we got what's his name, Riley Osborne was being like I guess the jealous Jerry, and said like, why does he have to watch her? Like I was like, well, like if y'all didn't just stick of just being friends, maybe you would be sticking around with the female Chase U student. But this is where we got this is where then we got Kelly Kincaid asking questions about Duke Hudson tonight. How's he getting ready, and saying like he has a big match later on in the main event of tonight's NXT against Obafemi for the North American Championship. And then this is where the Duke Hudson, this is where Andre Chase is like, look, when Duke Hudson was on his end game, he's like, there's no other type of business that's going to touch him. Like he also understood like and he's like, and he said like, and Duke Hudson also know that these opportunities don't always come as much as often than it does. Like so he got to cash in while he has the chance to do it and bring some gold into Chase U, or into just Chase U, properly speaking. This was like, and you're gonna possibly see your next North American champ. This is where the Rob was like, yeah. He's like, he's been proving all the haters wrong, like, from the last 3 years. Like, and tonight he's going to beat the unbeatable, like, literally, and he's going to do the unthinkable and bring home that exact North American Championship back home to Chase U, with him doing a little bit of a Chase U hand gesture. This is where we got Kelly Kincaid. Okay, just wait for the screen. Okay, a big North American Championship match. This in the main event of tonight's show. This is where we got it. Moving on to the next slide, and I want to ask you guys before I continue, who exactly was your your guy that you're predicting on the North American Championship? Do you think it was Duke Hudson, or do you think it was Oba? Let me know in the comments. You thought it was gonna be Oba's gonna retain, or Duke Hudson's gonna be the new champion? Let me know in the comment section right down below. But let's get to the next slide. Let's talk about Roxanne Perez. Like when she got into the squared circle, this is where the fans were like Roxy, and they're like boo because of course she did. And this where then Roxanne Perez was like, what is it gonna take for to get the fans' attention, and get the honor of a champion that I am, and I was like, Roxy, like I thought you didn't even give no cares that anybody would cheer or boo you, you're just all you care about is is adding accolades and achieving goals or something like that. This is where then Roxanne Perez is like, a week from this the week from this Sunday, I beat the most biggest badass in the women's division and retained my championship, adding another accolade, and proving my point, and adding another victim into my resume that I defeated as NXT Women's Champion, and then because of that, I'm speaking of this, I never got my flowers. Like WWE Universe, is literally witnessing the greatness and before their eyes in the women's division of NXT. And what they do to me, that's what they give Lola Vice, the loser of the match, giving her the standing ovation, but me instead of me, and it should have been me, if she's the female Dolph Ziggler of NXT, I guess you could say, when he was in that rivalry with Kofi Kingston when he was world champ. Damn it should have been me. Is where you got Roxanne Perez and he's to be honest, y'all don't know what talent is if it slap you. If it slap you with, slap you with a lobster that has some very sharp pinchers, and then this is where then she was like, because I am only 22 years old, and I'm so damn good, and he's like, and I never hit my prime yet, I'm just getting into the beginning stage, and even and normally when somebody in the beginner stage, they couldn't even get half the success that I'm having right now, have half the successful run that I'm in right now. And she was like, and speaking, and again, I'm making history here. And speaking of history, 13 years ago, Charlotte Flair had the very first NXT TV match. It's been 13 years since Charlotte Flair had her very first NXT TV match, and I was like, wow, since 2011, I did not know that. She said 13. If she said 12, I'll say maybe I would believe it more because that makes sense. Because it seemed like she didn't got there until 2012, but I think she didn't got to WWE until a year before then. But here's where she's and now Charlotte Flair is a 14-time women's champion, and she's a queen. She's the queen, and she's the future Hall of Famer in her rights. But guess what? I'm gonna shatter all of her records once I get in the main roster. I'm gonna do the same with the likes of Bayley, Asuka, and even Rhea Ripley. And then that's where she start giving a big grin. Of course, you would say names like those, except for Asuka, that's a baby face. But it's where she's you know what really, really pisses me off? Is the fact that all the talk online is but what about the new girls that's going to be showing up to NXT that wrestled in Japan and Mexico, like Julia or Stephanie Vacker that's going to win your title? And then I was like, well, I'm not sure about Stephanie Vacker, but I can see Julia winning. And she meant that she just name dropped them without any hesitations because they announced that they're officially under a contract with WWE and they're possibly heading over to NXT. And I was like, and the funny thing about this, they're both from New Japan Pro Wrestling, with Stephanie Vacker beating Julia for that New Japan Strong Women's Championship. And now the funny coincidence is they're both heading to WWE. But anyway, this is where we got. This is where did she start mocking the fans that think that Julia is going to defeat Roxanne and or even Stephanie Vacker once they make their NXT debuts. or one of them like make their NXT debut. And this where she was like, oh, and she was making fun like, oh no, like they're like, and then she was like Roxanne's in trouble. Like like it. Like it's only a matter of time when she loses that championship, and then this where she was like, well, you know what? Like, why don't you go ahead and pull out the red carpet for them? Like, you know what? As a matter of fact, like roll out the red carpet for any talent around the world because when they step in the ring with me, the Prodigy, like nobody going to compare to the Prodigy herself. And she was like, and that's why I find it quite laughable, like, and that Thea Hale is possibly my next opponent. And this is where she starts sarcastically making comments about her chances might be likely that she will win the women's championship. She was like, she got half the chance than her own Chase U classmate Duke Hudson does with his North American title against Oba Femi. I was like, wow, like that's very messed up. And I was like, but it might be true in some capacities, like because one, like Thea Hill could be at least have 50% of a chance of winning, but maybe come up short. But maybe it's a little bit, but maybe more likely that she has a chance than Duke does. Like even though Duke will give us one hell of a fight, like later on tonight. But yeah, this is where we heard we saw Thea Hill heard Roxanne Perez said her name but said her name like at least once, if not twice, and this is where she came out of the ring because that's in the rule 18.8 or no 14.8. Let me rephrase that. This is where the Thea Hill was like, and then this is where she was like you know what makes me upset, like what you just said, Roxanne, like thinking that it's very funny that you think that's very funny and laughable that my chances against you for the championship that chances are very unlikely and slim. Like, and just because I'm younger than you and I have less championship experience than you do. Like, and let me tell you something, Roxanne. I'm gonna show you how does it feel like to be underestimated, and like when people and same when people doubt you, and go ahead, Roxanne, doubt me all you want. Because I broke doubters' noses before, which that's true. Why don't you ask JC Jane that question? But anyway, this is where we got Thea Hill's and I also fractured Doubters' arms, which he also did that. Why don't you ask Jasmine Nix while you're asking JC Jane that exact question? But this is where then we got but this is where then Thea Hill did start preaching more facts into their promo. This is where she's like, there's nothing more to prove because so at Great American Bash in the next couple of weeks, like I'm gonna like what he said, like she said like I'm gonna do the unthinkable pull the unthinkable. Yeah, I'm gonna something like that. That's what she said, and this is what she's like. Hey, go ahead and pull out the history book and hand me to the pen to write Thea Hale as one of the youngest NXT Women's Championship. I thought at first you said that she said she's going to be the first youngest women's champion in history. I was like, if it was a couple years ago, maybe likely because the last person that was NXT Women's Champion at the age of 21 was none other than Paige. She, right before she became the Divas Championship, like at the age of 20, 21, I believe, most likely 21, I believe, but it is where we got Thea Hale and continue on the microphone. I was like, it's so convincing, but I just think that she might just come up just a pinch of a pinch tad short. She'll be close of beating her with the Kimura lock. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like the same spot when she faced Tiffany Stratton, like continuing to build things up like that she's a future NXT Women's Champion. She just keep getting screwed out of every time, like whether if it's the referee not looking or outside interference, like she just cannot get a chance of becoming the NXT Women's Championship. But I think that she will be, like it'll just be somewhere down the line, but for now, I just think Roxanne's possibly going to win. And let me know in the comments who's your pick at a Great American Bash. But anyway, where we got Roxanne Perez then responded to like Thea Hale, like that was very nice. Like and like you just you just made your self known, and you the saying these things, saying these things that saying these things that you are gonna slay me, and being overly confident and with that enthusiastic about it. But let me break it to you and tell you the harsh reality of your little this manifestation you're bringing. Like it, none of that's gonna happen, and you're. And that dream of yours of becoming the NXT Women's Championship is never going to happen either. Like especially when you're in the ring with the Prodigy, and what else he said, and you and you again, yeah, and I hate again, yeah, and I believe that, yeah, that Mr. Chase is going to probably pull out the white towel once again, like he did the last time he had a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. This is where Thea Hale did not like when she said that. This is where she was very angry. This is where then Roxanne Perez was and there's one thing I have to tell you about this women's championship. This is for big girls and grown ups, and not little girls that still act like they're I don't know, like 6 years old, I guess you could say. This is where we got Thea Hale like, okay, insult me by calling me a kid, and go ahead, call me a kid, call me a little girl, call me all that stuff. And then this is where she did it one more time. She was like, yeah, you're nothing but a little girl. And this is where she kicks her right in the gut. This is where then she tried to go for a pop rocks, but she was like, you know what? Before I do that, this is where she goes for a forearm. I believe she made a big mistake of not going for the pop rocks and put her away, and prove her point. But this is where Thea Hale started fighting back, playing wrestling tennis with the Prodigy. This is where they started going back for boom, boom, boom. This is where we got Roxanne Perez going for the crossface. I was like, yeah, she's definitely trying to copy a certain particular women's champion in another company, which I cannot say the name right now, hitting that crossface. But this is where we got Thea Hale flipping right out of it with all her strength. I was like, how did she do that? That's very shocking. This is where she countered it through, put the Kimura lock onto Roxanne Perez, making her scream like the death. This is where she was like, please stop. And this is where she tried to go for a crossface, but Thea Hale then got locked in the next time. The next time when she tried to hit the Kimura lock, this is where we got her pinning it. This is where she could barely feel her arm. It was so numb like that. This is where we got Rich Holland luckily came out there to break it up. This is where he's like, yo, Thea, not like this. You're not gonna get a championship opportunity with this being quick to anger and letting her get the better of you. And then this is where and Roxanne Perez that girl is not as soft as the way she looks. I was like, yeah, duh. Don't let the looks fool you, or don't let the age fool you, or the age fool you as well, I should say. Because it doesn't matter what age, what size, what's the status of somebody, as long as they have the strength and the determination of that strength, I should say, and it's have nothing to do with size or age or experience, or anything like this. It's all about what you currently have, the offer. But anyways, this is where we went to the backstage area, and before I get into that segment, I want to ask you who you think is going to win for the last time. Let me know in the comments down below. I think it will be Roxanne for now, and this is where we can see the debuting of Julia. I guess if there's any plans that she's gonna make her appearance known and her debut on NXT at this little NXT special in the next couple of weeks. But if not her, I'll say maybe it will be Stephanie Vacker. I don't know who it could possibly be. I was like, it seemed like, but the one thing I could say, that the former CMLL star, just I was like, if she does, it seemed like that she was picking fights with champions that love doing the crossface. But anyway, this is where we got Kalani Jordan was talking to the likes of what's her name, Brentley Reese and Sol Ruka, until she got interviewed by Kelly Kincaid. This is where she was like, you had a very you having an awesome reign as NXT Women's North American Champion, and you retained it in an amazing match with Sol Ruka a week ago at Heatwave. This is where then this is where then Kalani Jordan was like, yeah, like so Ruka is very incredible in that squared circle. Like she does some crazy moves that I can even not even do. But she did came up short, and I'm not gonna brag on it on brag about that on her. But she did put one hell of a fight on that night, and I gotta give her credit for it. And she was like, and then this word that you like, and I did, and there's plenty more women that could challenge me for this championship, like because Roxanne specifically named the likes of Julia and Stephanie Vacker that just signed their contracts here in WWE. So it's starting to be it's definitely being even more interesting in this division, and it's just it just shows that the NXT women's division is getting more and more stronger than it ever was before. And I'm gonna keep upping my game, and then I'm gonna remain as your NXT Women's North American Championship. But before she can even finish saying champion, this is where she gets kind of interrupted by Wendy Chu, which she was creeping right behind her. This is where she was like, okay, and she was like, what the hell is she have that doll for? And I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, like it's definitely a sign that she's most definitely gonna go be in a program with Stephanie Vacker, while we got what's her name, Julia with Roxanne Perez, and man, it's very interesting with these former wrestlers that used to be in the New Japan Strong Women's Champion coming to the NXT and possibly being women's champion in their respective runs in NXT. And do you think they will be like women's champion and women's North American champion once they make their debuts, on-screen debuts on the developmental brand? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about and where we got Javon Evans taking on what's his name? Javon Evans taking on what's his name? Javon Evans taking on Brooks Jensen because he attacked him last week, and Ava made this official that he will indeed face the 20-year-old star. And then this is where we got what's her name? Ava then said like, what Josh Briggs was like, I'm gonna make sure that this match is fair and make sure that he does not lose his temper, and do something stupid what's gonna make him regret for the rest of his career here or even his life. But it's where we got Lola Vice then got interviewed by Kelly Kincaid, and it seemed like that she's now a babyface in WWE's roster on the Tuesday night show. This is where we got Kelly Kincaid's like, yeah, you did a good impression like against Roxanne Perez, and you showed that you belong in the women's main event division. This is where then she said like, and then this is where then we got Kelly Kincaid like, I must ask like, what's next for Vice? And this is where then Lola Vice yeah, like Kelly, I let everything behind in the ring, yeah, I gave it but I did give it my all, but I ended up breaking my hand in that match, by hitting it right into the ring post, and again, despite that, and even messing with my hand, she still haven't tapped me out. Yeah, it may have taken her 5 different pop rocks just to put me away, but that just shows me you're gonna have to give it your all in order to take me out. And then this is where we got Fallon Henley, and this is where then Fallon Henley and JC Jane and what's her name and Jasmine Nixon started making fun of her. Oh, look, there's the girl that failed to win the big one. And then this is where then JC Jane's like, why don't you go back where you came from, and that is MMA, and you should what did she say, and she was like, considering that you made a bigger name for yourself there rather than in this business, you do and you did, but I gotta admit, you did an amazing job against Roxanne. So kudos to you, Jasmine. And this was just did you? And she was like, and then and I sure hope that your former tag team, your tag teammate, will bring you back into open arms or something like that. There's where, and it is, and it is, and it is where then what did the JC James said like afterwards? She was like you made it. Yeah, she was like, yeah, might have made a bigger name for yourself in here, like transitioning from MMA. Like, so kudos to you. And this is where she was like, again, and she was like, how about you go back to there and they'll welcome you back with open arms. Like, we sure will miss you. And this is where they they start saying that in a very, what's that, like sarcastic way. This is where we got found him. He's like, yeah, so get back in the line, rookie. And then it's where then Lola Vice was like, rookie, like that's all you have to say, like, and you keep saying that way too much, like rookie, like I know who's a rookie, and it's definitely not me. It's your friend right there on the right, which was Jasmine Nick she was referring to. I was like, yeah, that's true, because we've been seeing her making NXT sporadic appearances ever since JC Jane, ever since she was aligned by JC Jane, like when she was still teaming with Thea Hale, pretending to be her friend, like with the Chase U stick or whatever that you want to refer as. Maybe she was an honorary student of Chase University until she showed her true colors, that she wasn't doing this to help in the most I'll say humiliating, but more of that I'll say more likely intimidating way, I should say. But this is where we got Lola Vice. Then that's where the Lola Vice was like, how about I fight one of you girls tonight? That's where then JC James like, oh yeah, you are a fighter. Like, so why wouldn't you fight? And that's where then Lola Vice was like, yeah, like I am a damn fighter, and I'm looking for one of my opponents tonight, and that's gonna be one of you. Like, so you better, y'all better be prepared, because like I'm not gonna show any mercy. And let me tell you, like she did show any kind of mercy, or let alone sympathy, like even just a percent of it whatsoever. But this is where we got Brooks Jensen taking on Javon Evans up next. Is where we got it starting off with Javon Evans going a bit bouncy at first, but this is where we got Brooks Jensen then start attacking his leg, like where he attacked him at like about 7 nights ago. Is where he cornered him right into the upper right side. Is where he started beating him down until the referee's like, all right, he's hanging on the ropes. That's technically a rope break. And then he's like, and if you don't stop in the next 5 seconds, you're gonna be DQ'd. He started counting like, I warned you, 1, 2, 3, and he stopped right there. That's where then he sent him right to the outside. That's where then he hits him with a suplex face plant, where he's sending his legs first right onto the unforgiving announce table, which is Allen. This is where then he go for a flying elbow drop. This is where he did right into the back of Javon Evans, trying to mess up that spine. This is where Javon Evans was like, oh my God, like, yeah, that's nothing funny about getting hit right onto the very I'll say difficult part of your back. I'm not sure what I even meant by saying that, but I meant to say he just shattered my back into like hundreds of pieces, like innerly. But it's where we got Brooks Jensen and bring in the young OG. I believe that's what they call him. That's his nickname, I believe. So he did a couple more punishments onto him. This is where we got Sean Spears coming out to watch this match. Up front, this is where he tried to go for multiple pins, but every time he pins him with a certain maneuver, he hits onto Javon Evans. He just keep kicking out at the final second, and even barely like a few inches away from being 3, like a 2.5, 2.6, maybe 2.7. But this is where we got Josh Briggs and say like, "What the hell are you doing out here? You shouldn't be out here because like my friend and my friend is facing Javon Evans right now, like, and you may have something against the young star, like, but that doesn't mean you interfere in someone else's match. Like, you keep your nose where it don't belong." That's where this is where Brooks Jensen was like, "Don't worry about him. Like, just keep your eye on me, not him. Like, it's not like that he's what we have to worry about. Like, this is where then Josh Briggs, like, I guess you're right on one thing about that. Like, so I'm just gonna step back. This is where then Brooks Jensen's like, yeah, like now if you excuse me, like like I got a young little kid that I need to continue beating up. This is where then Josh Briggs like, okay, like just don't go overboard. This is where then he's like, whatever. But this is where he gets end up hitting with a crossbody onto him. Like when he ran right into the right side, went to the left. Javon Evans go for a springboard cutter, hits him face first right into the canvas. He goes for a pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and the young OG Javon Evans get the victory. The winner of this match, Javon Evans, which I already said. I'm repeating myself, but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this match. I'll say it was like a very it was a very intriguing 15-minute battle. Like even though I probably would have expected it just a little more longer, but still, it was very entertaining. Like hopefully it had you very intrigued as well. And yeah, I would say alone I'll give this match 3.5 stars. Like because it's not like a mid card, it's just like a side mid card match. Like just because Brooks Jensen attacking him and we're getting Javon Evans some revenge here. Like we're seeing that, yeah, he's getting some revenge. He finally got that, but it seems, Brooks Jensen's still not happy like in his role in NXT, and we're gonna see what's next for the one half of the former NXT UK Tag Team Champion. Once he arguing with Josh Briggs because yeah, he had so much to say to die, and this is But yeah, we're gonna talk about that probably later on. But this is where we got Charlie Dempsey then start away the D'Angelo family with Tony D'Angelo playing poker with his brothers and sister. I guess you could call them, which is Luca Crucifino, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Adriana Rizzo. And this is where then Tony D'Angelo's like, "What you're doing here? Like when the last time we did business, like you do decide to not pay us like for taking care of the NXT trash that you want us to take out." And then this is where then Charlie Dempsey's like, "Yeah, but that's different. I'm." And then this is where and he said, "And also you do not ups the Don. Like if you have something to say to the Don, like you give an invite like to a very anonymous location, so we won't be recognized of doing something that we're not supposed to be doing." And this is where then Charlie Dempsey was like looking around us and then this is where Tony D'Angelo was like, "Oh, I'm just joking about no, I'm just busting your balls right now." Like and again, everything goes. But and this is where then he said but I gotta be honest, Charlie Dempsey. Like I'm very impressed with you right now. This is Charlie Dempsey. Like, don't try to sweet talk me, Don. Like, because you still owe me that Heritage Cup championship back. And this is where Tony D'Angelo's like, of course you want that trophy. But I beat you fair and square for it. Like, just to pay your debts for not paying me my money for taking care of the trash. Like, but what you're here for, and he said and he said and he's like, "I heard you got a girl problem or something like that," and we're gonna see more about that in just a moment. But this is where we got them discussing it right here. This is where we got Charlie Dempsey he's like, "Yeah, like I kind of got myself in a little bit of a situation, I guess you could say, and well, I need some advice, Tony." And this is what Tony D'Angelo's like, "What kind of situation?" And he's like. And then this is where he's like, "This is some hypothetically speaking, like right here, but let's just say, I witnessed something right here, and now I'm getting pretty, I guess you could say, blackmailed." And this is where then Tony D'Angelo's like, Tony?" He's like, "Yeah, hypothetically speaking, let's just say." I saw somebody doing something, and then this is where then Tony D'Angelo hilariously said, but even though he was being serious in the segment, he was like, "What is this, amateur hour or something?" and this is where then Tony D'Angelo was like, yeah, it's like, let's just say hypothetically, it's not a him, it's more likely a her. And then this is where Tony D'Angelo was like, huh, like, whoa, 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 like, what do you say? And this is where, and then this is where then he's like, wait, what? I, what are you trying to say here? And this is where Charlie Dempsey was like, look, like this is only just a hypothetical statement that I'm making right now. Like, this is where then Tony D'Angelo was like, no, like I see what you do, like if it's the female that it is the female problem you have, I think you should take care of this on your own, bro. And then this is where then Charlie Dempsey was like, look, like I tried to take care of this on my own, but I failed doing it miserably multiple times. And this is where then Tony D'Angelo was like, I suggest you should take care of whatever problem you have. And this is where we got what's the All Ego Ethan Page then start complaining with Ava right into her office. This is where then he said I'm the NXT champion and I'm not liking how I'm getting treated right now. Would you allowing that psychotic aura, like the Oro, the interfere in my match last week and just pretty much paralyzed me with a beating like from the last for the last couple more hours, like after the show went off the air. And this is where he did say but you should have a better security team here because like everybody's saying the IWC, like the security sucks. Well, he didn't say all that, but it's my version of him saying this. But that's where we got Oral Menza. Then Oral Menza came in. He was like he's like, what is he doing here? Like, and he don't deserve to be the champion. This was the arguing back. And he's like, I want to shot the NXT championship. This is where luckily Ava was there to break him up, like, and not get any physical with him. This is where then all you Ethan Page was like, you don't deserve a